Artificial intelligence is becoming more popular in our mainstream world today, and it has opinions on everything, even how frugal people should live. So I asked it to plan my entire day. Spoiler, it involved oatmeal, early mornings, and a shocking amount of cleaning. Now, I'll admit, I find ChatGPT fascinating. I take everything it says with a grain of salt because it's not a real person and I don't use it for therapy or life advice. I like real humans for that. But when it comes to figuring out how to do something or finding great resources, I actually like it better than Google. So when it claimed it could design the perfect frugal day, I had to see what it thought my life should look like. Halfway through the morning, AI told me to do something a little unrealistic. I actually laughed out loud. Hi, my friend. If you're new here, my name is Sarah. I'm the owner of frozenpennies.com. I'm a financial coach and the author of the best-selling book, Fundamentally Frugal. I'll leave a link below. So here's what we're doing today. It's kind of fun. I handed full control of my day over to artificial intelligence. From the moment I woke up to the time I went to bed, I followed its perfect frugal routine to the letter. No edits, no shortcuts, no arguing with a robot. Just be my camera and whatever ChatGPT thinks a budget-loving midlife woman in upstate New York should be doing all day. And let's just say, some of it was surprisingly smart, and some of it made me question if AI had ever met a real human. I've always believed frugality should be freeing, not punishing, but lately, with the internet full of no-spend challenges and minimalism rules, I started to wonder, have we made saving money harder than it needs to be? That's why I thought it would be fun to let AI take over. If it could remind me of the simple parts of being intentional again, the things that used to come naturally to our grandmas, then maybe there's still something that we can learn from it. But here's what I really wanted to know. Could AI capture what frugal living actually feels like? Not the penny-pinching cheapskate version, but the intentional, peaceful, make, do, and be grateful version many of us live every day. Morning routine. AI said, 6:30 a.m., wake up early to use natural light, make homemade coffee, eat oatmeal topped with fruit you already have, wash and hang laundry, check your bank account. Okay, we're starting strong. Early 6:30 wake up? Okay, natural light, love it. But oatmeal? Again? Why does AI think frugal people are just wandering the earth eating endless bowls of oatmeal? So I brewed coffee in my percolator because caffeine is a non-negotiable. I made oatmeal, topped it with blueberries. Knowing that I would probably be starving in about an hour, I ate the oatmeal. AI missed the part about protein in the morning for midlife women. Then I grabbed my notebook and I did my real morning ritual, checked the bank balance and the to-do list. AI wanted laundry hung to dry, which would have been cute if it weren't November in upstate New York. 18 degrees when I woke up this morning. No clothesline and snow on the ground. But I do have a drying rack, and honestly, setting it up indoors adds the humidity to the air, which is a win when the furnace is running. By 7:45 a.m., I was feeling good, although a little hungry. Nothing too wild yet. AI, you might actually be onto something here. Until the next step that I'll tell you about in a minute, I wasn't super excited about what's to come. I realized there was something oddly freeing about just doing what I was told for once. No decisions, no mental load, no wondering if I should check email first or clean the kitchen. It's funny because so much of budgeting and frugal living is about control, but letting go a little, that actually made the morning feel calmer than usual. Mid-morning tasks, 8 a.m. Take advantage of free exercise by walking. Bring a reusable bottle, reflect on gratitude and goals, repair or repurpose something instead of buying new. Free exercise in 30-degree weather? Sure, why not? So I bundled up and I stepped outside and tried not to slip on the frozen leaves. It actually felt nice, brisk, quiet, and simple. This isn't my favorite thing to do. I'm more inside Sarah, especially in the winter. I'm cold all the time, and this weather is just a terrible idea. But I did do it because AI is in charge. The thing is, AI doesn't count for things like stepping in a puddle, your neighbor waving while you're in sweatpants, or realizing halfway through your mindful gratitude walk that your socks are soaking wet. Real life is messy, it's imperfect, and that's kind of the beauty of it. Frugality isn't about perfection. It's about making the best of whatever the day throws at you, preferably with dry feet. Then came the repair or repurpose bit. So I pulled out my sewing pile and I fixed a few buttons and repaired a lap quilt for my son. I saved maybe $60 on new pants, and honestly, it was calming. It reminded me frugal doesn't mean fussy. The goal isn't to obsess over every penny, it's to stretch resources without stretching yourself too thin. That's a lesson AI hasn't quite learned yet. Next was lunchtime. 12 p.m., prepare lunch using leftovers, drink water or homemade iced tea, do a 10-minute tidy. Now you're talking. Leftovers are practically a love language around here. I stretched last night's roasted chicken with some mayo and called it chicken salad. Boom. New meal. Hot tea instead of ice because I'm freezing, and then the tidy up challenge. I set a 10-minute timer, blasted some Fleetwood Mac, and did the dishes that were screaming for attention. It's amazing how small systems like this bring instant calm. I even set another 15-minute timer to tackle a messy cellar corner that's been screaming my name and I'd been avoiding. Anybody can do anything for 15 minutes, right? What else do I have to do? Even that one spot you keep pretending doesn't exist still needs you. Afternoon routine, 2 p.m. Spend an hour on a no-spend hobby like reading, gardening, or crafting. Avoid shopping or scrolling. Apparently, AI hasn't met me. I already live for reading. So I curled up with my book on Kindle to finish this book that everyone is raving about, An Octopus That Saves the Day, and a blanket. By the way, that book, excellent. Mid-afternoon reading feels perfect. Then I did stay off my phone though. I watered my plants, I reorganized the spice cupboard. It's wild how peaceful those small repetitive tasks feel when you slow down enough to notice. AI might not understand it, but that's the real secret. Mindfulness isn't expensive. Peace doesn't come with a price tag. That's the thing about slowing down. You start to notice how often we fill the quiet with noise. Sometimes scrolling, sometimes spending, but when you take all that away, what's left isn't boredom, it's space. Space to think, to appreciate, to get creative again. And honestly, that's where the best frugal ideas come from. Not from deprivation, but from paying attention. Pre-dinner, 4 p.m., cook dinner early. Use pantry ingredients, batch cook for tomorrow. Listen to a personal growth or money podcast. Finally, something AI absolutely nailed. I grabbed what I had on hand, leftover chicken, veggies, and broth, and made a big pot of soup. Added in the last of the sourdough bread with butter, and the house instantly smelled like comfort. I turned on one of my favorite podcasts, Frugal Friends. Side note, Jen and Jill are really great. I know them personally, and they're also on YouTube. Check out Frugal Friends and tell them I sent you. Stirring soup while listening to conversations about living intentionally just felt right. AI told me to batch cook, but since I'd already meal prepped on Sunday for the entire week, I just froze the extra soup for later. That one simple habit, always making extra, saves me more time and money than any coupon app ever could. Frugality isn't about lack, it's about enough. Here's the thing AI didn't understand, and it wouldn't. It built the whole day around what not to do. Don't spend. Don't scroll. Don't waste. And while that sounds logical, it completely misses the heart of how real frugal people live. Frugality isn't about saying no all day long. It's about finally feeling like you have enough. I remember when we were paying off debt, that season that could have felt really restrictive. But instead of focusing on what we didn't have, we learned and leaned into gratitude. We learned to see abundance in the smallest things, a stocked pantry, a cozy home, a meal that stretched just far enough to feed everyone. There's a quiet kind of peace that comes when you stop chasing more and start appreciating what's already right in front of you. AI doesn't know what that feels like, that moment when you realize your needs are met, your bills are paid, and your home feels safe. It doesn't understand the deep satisfaction of using things up or the pride in creating comfort out of simplicity. It only knows how to measure, not how to feel full. That's what sets true frugality apart. It's not about living with less. It's about living with intention. It's about choosing satisfaction over scarcity. When you shift from I can't buy that to I don't need that, everything changes. You stop chasing, start enjoying, and realizing abundance was never something you had to earn. It was something you could notice. By the time dinner was simmering on the stove, that idea of enough was really sinking in, and it made the rest of the evening feel softer, calmer, and more meaningful. Evening routine, 5 p.m. Eat dinner with family, practice gratitude, spend screen-free time together. Well, we ate our dinner at the counter, which is usual, and since we're not big board game people, we pulled out a puzzle instead, and you know what? It was actually kind of fun. AI's family bonding reminder hit home, though. The best memories really do happen in the kitchen. Paying off debt, celebrating milestones, dreaming about the future, all over homemade meals that cost next to nothing. After dinner, I did the dishes and curled up to watch some YouTube homesteading videos because that's what I'm into right now. Free entertainment at its finest. By the end of the night, I realized how much of this AI day was really just simple living. Nothing fancy, nothing complicated, just slowing down enough to be present and realizing that maybe the robot accidentally reminded me what I'd forgotten, that ordinary days are the best kind of days. Nighttime, 8 p.m., review spending, update the budget tracker, and write 3 gratitudes. This one confused me a little bit because I hadn't spent a dime all day. AI wouldn't let me. So the budget review could wait until tomorrow, but because AI said so, I checked it again real quick. But I love the gratitude idea part. Here's what I wrote. 1, hot coffee in the morning. 2, a warm house when it's snowing outside. And 3, the ridiculous joy of not having to make any decisions today. Then I climbed into bed with a new book from the library, The Wedding People, and I smiled. This whole experiment started as a test, but it turned into a reminder that frugality isn't a list of chores. It's a mindset. AI thinks frugal living is all about rules, meal prepping, mending, no screens, track every penny, and sure, that's part of it. But what it completely missed is the heart. Real frugality is human, creative, flexible, and a little messy. It's about stretching a meal, savoring quiet moments, and feeling genuinely grateful for what you already have. So yeah, AI got the basics right, but it missed the best part. The joy, the laughter, the little moments that make living simply feel so full. I guess that's the funny part. AI gave me a checklist, but what I found was connection with my home, my habits, and what really matters. It's a good reminder that even in a high-tech world, the heart of frugality is still deeply human. Because living simply, that's one thing no algorithm will ever truly understand. If you like this experiment, hit that reply button and tell me in the comments, if AI planned your frugal day, what do you think it would get hilariously wrong? And if this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and watch this video next.